Welcome back to part 2. What is visual music? Is it music videos? Is it visuals controlled by audio or audio controlled by visuals? Or is it music remixed with movies live? Let's discuss and get into it right now. Question: what do you think visual music is? Put your answers in the comments below. If you like what you see and you want to support this channel, please subscribe and ring the bell below. Once the 60s hit, things started to get really interesting. Light shows started, acid test parties, trips festivals, and more. Let's start with Glenn Mckay. He was probably considered the grandfather of projections with oils and inks mixed in water. You know, the effect you would see that looked like a lava lamp projected onto a wall or over a musical artist. Similar to Mckay, Joshua White invented the Joshua Light, creating wet shows that relied on moving liquids. In 1968, Lloyd Cross invented Sonovision, where a laser would produce a pattern generated by sound. Another one of my favorite artists, by the name of Nam June Paik, created a work he called TV Cello that he introduced in 1964. For this, Paik teamed up with cellist Charlotte Mormon that included TV sets being played in a cello position. In 1966, Dan Slather invented V-Synth, a video synthesizer that produced abstract images. In the 1970s, Sina and Woody Vasulka based their visual art on audio synthesizers and an oscillator wave generator for both audio and video. This allowed them to simultaneously modify the sound, pitch, and image size. Also in the 1970s, Daniel Sandin created the image processor. It was a modular and programmable computer that could manipulate video signals in various ways. Here's a name you might recognize: Brian Eno. He was actually considered to produce visual music from 1985 to 2005 through his exhibited works. Now, for one of my favorites, things really started getting awesome in the 90s. And who else better to start off the 90s with visual music other than Emergency Broadcast Network? They came on the scene around 1991 and was probably the first to create what I call cinema electro. They were a multimedia performance group. EBN would take cable television broadcasts and remix them with a funky beat, often having the lyrics sung not by a singer, but by half-second sound clips from TV. Insert 2000 to the present. At the same, that little southern twang. At the same, that little southern twang. Anyway, enter 2000 to present. At the same time everyone thought that the world was going to end, visual musicians were hard at work creating what is today's visual music. Before we go into a deep dive, let me say that certain types of VJs can be considered visual musicians, but I won't get into that on this episode. Maybe another one. There are so many great visual musicians to mention here, so I'll do my best to cover them all. Let's start with the visual musician that influenced me to become a visual musician myself, Mike Realm. Mike Realm is from the US. He started around 2000, but had been doing turntablism well before that. Mike Realm remixes movies and audio live with the use of a laptop, turntables, a mixer, and a MIDI pad. He will scratch the video from his turntable and is simply amazing to see perform live. So be sure you see him live if he ever comes to your town. Heading over to England, you will find Addictive TV, who remixes original music and movies live through the use of laptops, MIDI keyboards, MIDI pads, mixer, and more. Let's go over to Spain now. We find Eclectic Method, who also mixes movies and audio live through the use of a mixer, a laptop, and more. All of Eclectic Method's songs are original and are mixed to perfection. Meanwhile, back in the US, we have Alien TV, that is part visual music and part live PA. They by far have the most gear I have ever seen from any visual musician. They perform live through mics, amps, MIDI controllers, keyboards, laptops, mixers, and TVs, lots of TVs. Then there's B-roll, a very unique way of performing visual music. He does voltage-controlled video, movies sequenced by modular machines, and experiments in video music. Now, perhaps the youngest visual musician alive today goes by the name of Coyote Beats. He remixes anything from movies to TV shows to viral videos to video games. He will take the sound of the video and turn it into a musical instrument along with a very nice beat. Lastly, there is myself, Matix. I started in 2011 and am still going strong today. My gear includes a mixer with RGB pads, a laptop, a projector, and a screen. My method is best described in the earlier definition I gave of cinema electro. Basically, I remix movies, viral videos, TV shows, friends, whatever, live with audio. Essentially, the video portion becomes part of the overall experience along with the audio. If you want to see an example of my visual music, you can see it right here. There are so many more that I don't have time to go into details about, but are so worth mentioning. Some of these visual musicians are Lupin Mix, Tristan Rudot, DJ Koss, Ash C, Moabite, and Pogo. Please check out their links in the description below. Finally, let's discuss what the future holds for visual music. This is really more of a matter of opinion, so I will let you know my thoughts. However, I would like to see what your thoughts are by leaving them in the comments below. There are 3 things I think of when I think of visual music in the future. First, I see the current artists covered in the 2000s section we talked about, taking things to the next level by pushing the boundaries of current technology that is offered. Second, I can envision the use of more things like laser harps and theremins to trigger clips or specialized screens like interactive fog screens being used. Third, and I'm actually currently working on this one myself, the use of holograms. One would remix the holograms live, such like they currently do with a remix video live. And since we're on the topic, I've already coined the term holowave for this type of art and do hope it catches on. So please share it if you can. So why is all of this history and methods important? I think it's important because there is a need to understand the wide variety of what was and what is visual music. If you have any questions, please comment below and I'd be more than happy to answer. Also, I have listed numerous sources, websites, and also visual musicians here on YouTube. So please look in the description, grab that information, utilize it however you want, and I hope one day will also be a visual musician advocate like me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and remember, visual music is music for your eyes.